What's up you guys, this is Bombholtz here, back at it again with another FC25 video. Today we have a tier list for goalkeepers. Today's video is going to be pretty interesting because it's a completely different format, and this is going to be the first tier list that I'm going to do on this channel, so we're going to do it the right way. Now I've seen loads of comments online and all across the board on what goalkeepers you should use, so I hope with this video I can help you pick the best goalkeeper for you and your team. S tier is the best in the position, A tier gets the job done, B tier is average, C tier is below average, and D tier, stay away from that goalkeeper. Now as you can see at the bottom of my tier list, I have loads of goalkeepers that include special cards, hero cards, icons, and gold cards. Now not to waste too much time on taking up this video on what goalkeepers are out of the power curve, I'm going to go ahead and place them in the lower tier sections. So as you can see, the trinity of these goalkeepers, they're no longer good in this game, and they've never been good in this game unfortunately due to their bad animations. And some are just way behind the power curve at this stage of the game. I forgot to put Tim Howard on this list because it's a bunch of downloading images, but he would also be in the D tier section. Endler, she's also a women's goalkeeper. Unfortunately, women in the game aren't good at goalie because of their heights and bad animations, so Endler's new card is in the D tier section. And about mentioning Howard, I actually like his prime hero card, so I would put him at the A tier section. I also packed Burger Team of the Year. I'd put her in B tier section because she doesn't get the job done as I'd like, but she's the best female goalkeeper in the game. And the outdated gold cards that go in the respective positions, Sommer, he's way behind the power curve. Mike Magnon, same thing. Neuer, behind the power curve. Ederson is behind the power curve. And then we have the higher rated gold cards that we could talk about. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting. As you may know, Courtois, he has a track star card and a gold card. I would put Courtois better than Berger at the B tier position. Kobel, on the other hand, I'd put him on the same rank as Courtois due to him having really good animations in game. He also has a special card that you guys could try using. I recommend it. It is very underrated in game and a very good value price. And this is a special card that I'm talking about, and believe it or not, this is going to be one of the few lower budget cards in the game that will belong in the S tier position. Donnarumma and Oblak. Donnarumma would go in the B tier position. Oblak, C tier. I don't like how his animations perform in game. Ter Stegen would belong in the B tier, and Alisson would belong in the C tier position. Now, a bunch of these gold cards are completely outdated. Some of them are somewhat usable, but I would avoid using them if you guys can spare the coins for their special cards. The next card we have on this list, we have the on this day 87 rated Gianluigi Buffon. Now this card is a little bit outdated, so he sits comfortably in the B tier position. The next icon we have on this list, we have base icon Peter Cech. Hopefully he gets a special card in the future. He's a bit outdated. He sits comfortably between B tier and A tier. Now we move on to Winter Wildcard De Gea. I am a Manchester United fan myself, and this card isn't as good in game as I would like, so he sits between C and B tier. And later on in this video, I'm going to organize each tier from best to worst. The next card we have Thunderstruck Unai Simon. He is somewhat decent in game, but he isn't all that. He sits comfortably between B and C tier. And the next card we have on this list, we have base icon Van der Sar. Now this card is very good in game. He does the job really well. He sits between A tier and S tier. Now we move on to base icon Schmeichel. He's a pretty solid goalkeeper. He gets the job done. I'd put him in A tier. Now we move on to Future Stars Chevalier. He isn't crazy in game. I don't like his animations. He sits C tier for me. Now, a bit of a mistake on my end. I noticed that Emi Martinez was chilling alongside in the B tier with all the other goalkeepers I have listed. But with that being said, this goalkeeper belongs comfortably in the C tier. He's not as OP as he was once you unlocked him through the season ladder, now that he's got his Team of the Year card. And now going up to a goalkeeper I don't like playing against. He's arguably one of the best goalkeepers in the game. We have Centurion's Van der Sar. All I could say is, wow, he is definitely up there, probably top 3 goalkeepers in the game due to his size and unique animations. Okay, so with the other recent goalkeeper that we got, Team of the Year honorable mentions, Mike Magnon. I would not lie, I think this goalkeeper is pretty solid, especially if you're on a budget. He's definitely one of those goalkeepers you should look into. And another recent numero foot Trap. I'm not a fan of this card. I've tried him out. I used his animations through squad battles. I'm not a fan of this card. You know, he couldn't save a Word document for me. He sits comfortably between B and C tier. And one of the more expected, better goalkeepers we have in the game so far for a promo card, we have Total Rush Courtois. He's one of my favorite cards because you could afford him and he has a good size and goal. I would say he is S tier, but after this soft patch that EA have done and brought us, I'll put him between borderline A tier and S tier. Okay, so now we also have Jordan Pickford. He has a numero foot card. I'm not a fan of the card, but I would put him between borderline B tier and C tier. We also have another numero foot, that being Alex Ramiro. I would say that this card is borderline B tier and A tier. Now onto the last Centurions card that we have in this video. We have 90 rated Donnarumma. He's surprisingly good after this new patch. I would put him in the A tier position. We also have base icon Casillas. I'm not a fan of this card with his animations. I've used both. I've done his SBC. I would say that this card is now B tier. So moving on to the Italian legend himself, Gianluigi Buffon. Now you guys could expect him to be S tier, but after this soft patch, he falls down to A tier for me. He was S tier. He made all the saves in the world that I had in goal, but they ruined him. They really ruined this card. He was one of my favorite goalkeepers of all time. I hope EA could fix him. And the next and last numero foot card that we have in this video, we have Allison 91 rated. I'll put this card comfortably between A and S tier. Now the only two Russian goalkeeper icons that we have in this game, we have base Yashin and future stars Yashin. Now I'd put the base Yashin comfortably between B and A tier. I don't know what's wrong with the animations that he's got in this game, but with his future stars, my gosh, this card was a unit to go up against in goal. I couldn't score against him in champs. This card sits comfortably in S tier. Now moving on to Team of the Year icon 93 rated Casillas. This card is pretty good for its value and what he provides. He has 2 playstyle pluses, which also helps out with the card. And he's got all the goalkeeper traits. Can't beat the value of this SBC. Definitely an easy S tier spot for me. And lastly, we have 94 rated Team of the Year Emiliano Martinez. He's definitely one of the more better goalkeepers we've had throughout the years for a Team of the Year card. And he's definitely up there as one of the best goalkeepers in the game. What a card. And also having the 2 playstyle pluses added onto a Team of the Year goalkeeper card certainly helps him with his performances. As you can see, I rearranged each tier from best to worst for all the goalkeepers added on the list. And starting from the top, between Van der Sar Centurions card and Lev Yashin's Future Stars card, one of those two right now is currently the best goalkeepers in the game after this patch. Few could argue, but both of them are very consistent. And right after that, every other goalkeeper in the S tier position is just consistent enough to be very good. Buffon and Courtois used to be S tier, but if they fixed the game, you know, I'd move Kobel down between borderline A and S tier. So we'll see when the time comes when EA finally decide to fix their game, especially for the higher rated cards. But if you're looking for a budget goalkeeper, I'd go with Courtois. And if you really want to give it a good go, try Kobel's special card in goal. He might be a little bit harder to link due to his nation being Bundesliga, but if you have enough icons and players to link around him, he's definitely worth the shot to try. But with every other goalkeeper added on the A tier list, don't expect them to make saves like Superman, but they are just as consistent to be good. And if you're still worried about what goalkeeper to pick and choose for your team, you can't go wrong with completing the Casillas' SBC because he is a cracked card for me. But with that being said, anything below the A tier, even if you have a sentimental value such as the icons that I have listed or even the gold or special cards, I'd recommend you guys to upgrade your goalkeepers as soon as possible because as soon as the meta curve changes, they're going to fall lower on that list. It's just the unfortunate thing that EA does with the life cycle of their game, but maybe if they throw an Evo in for your favorite goalie, it'd definitely be worth the wait. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll make sure to make more tier lists for future videos. So leave a comment down below with your suggestions on what I should do next for my tier list. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more FC25 content. And be sure to tell your friends to subscribe to my channel as well to help grow my channel. But with that being said, I have another video coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. And also follow me on my X, the link is in the description. But I'll see you guys in the next video.